The Pinball Arcade is a pinball video game developed by Farsight Studios. The game is a simulated collection of real pinball tables licensed by Gottlieb, Williams, Bally, and Stern Pinball. 4 tables were available initially with the game's launch: Black Hole, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Tales of the Arabian Nights, and Theatre of Magic. Additional tables have been and will be published as downloadable content each and every month. It is available for download on a number of devices through their respective online stores, such as those using the Android operating system and for iOS devices, Windows and OS X computers, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Versions have been proposed for Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, Linux, and Xbox One. The Xbox 360 version was removed from the Xbox Live marketplace due to legal problems between Microsoft and Crave Entertainment. A re-release is planned. Although tables have to be purchased for each platform separately, Farsight offer owners of the PS3 and PS Vita version a discount on the PS4 purchase, and buyers of the Steam version are able to play their tables on OS X and Windows. Development: the Pinball Arcade is developed by Farsight Studios, which also developed Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb Collection and Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams Collection, that were published by Crave Entertainment. Farsight Studios took part in the Steam Greenlight program to distribute the Pinball Arcade for Windows-based personal computers. The game was successfully greenlit on April 18, 2013. From August until October 2013, the PC version of the Pinball Arcade was in beta testing. The Windows version of Pinball Arcade was released on November 4, 2013, along with the first 19 table packs. A Macintosh version of the Steam release was released on December 16, 2013. The option to buy a season pass for an entire season, including unreleased tables in advance, was cancelled in February 2014 across all platforms due to violation of Apple's policies that do not allow sales of unreleased software. On April 1, 2014, Farsight released a patch that included stereoscopic 3D support for PlayStation 3. The 4th season of DLC tables began on October 10, 2014, when Farsight Studios released Phantom of the Opera, the first Data East table to be re-released as a Stern machine. Announced: a new, player-customizable user interface, support for virtual pinball cabinets, DirectX 11 support for the PC version, and stereoscopic 3D support for PS4 are currently scheduled. Due to the suggestive themes of the game, Farsight Studios announced on December 24, 2013 that they are currently working on a spin-off called Pinball After Dark using real-world adult-themed tables. Besides recreations of existing pinball machines, Farsight is also producing its own original design tables in cooperation with famous pinball designers from the past. A Ghostbusters-themed table will be released in late October 2014 as a standalone application using the same layout as Haunted House. The application will be distributed at no cost, but will require the use of tokens that regenerate by 2 daily. Pinball Arcade users will receive 4 tokens per day. Linux: on December 24, 2013, Farsight announced that they have begun working on the Steam Linux version of the Pinball Arcade. Nintendo 3DS: the Nintendo 3DS version will be called Pinball Hall of Fame and will only feature non-emulated newly scripted electromechanical tables and tables using early alphanumeric and numeric displays from Williams and Gottlieb, such as Black Knight, Space Shuttle, Pinbot, Gorga, Taxi, Funhouse and Whirlwind. Wii U: a version for Nintendo's Wii U console is currently in development. Initially planned for release as close to November 18, 2012 as possible, the version was not submitted to Nintendo until December 2012. Final submission was confirmed in late July 2013 and it was announced in June that it would release in September 2013. On August 27, 2013, Farsight Studios commented on their Facebook page that they were still working on the Wii U version and therefore it wasn't submitted to Nintendo yet. Xbox 360: the Pinball Arcade was previously published by Crave Entertainment for Xbox 360 on Xbox Live. Only the first 10 tables were released for XBOX 360 when Crave Entertainment filed for bankruptcy in 2012. Farsight Studios has been unable to ship new tables for the XBOX 360 since then as they fight in court for the return of the publishing rights. Microsoft terminated Crave's publishing license after the company emerged from bankruptcy, forcing the Pinball Arcade to be removed from the XBOX Live marketplace in July 2013. Farsight Studios is awaiting legal resolution between Microsoft and Crave, hoping to be able to update the XBOX 360 version in late 2013. On April 11, 2014, Farsight Studios announced that Alliance Digital Media would be publishing the Pinball Arcade on XBOX 360 and that all previously released tables have been submitted to Microsoft for approval and release. XBOX One. In July 2013, Microsoft announced plans to relax its publishing requirements for independent developers on its then-upcoming console, XBOX One. At the time, Farsight Studios expressed an interest in developing for the console, but did not commit to doing so. At the Game Developers Conference in March 2014, Microsoft stated that the Pinball Arcade would be one of the first releases in their ID at XBOX program. In November 2014, Farsight stated that the XBOX One version of the Pinball Arcade had passed Microsoft certification and would be released before Christmas with all Season 1, 2 and 3 tables available at launch. Kickstarter. Farsight Studios launched a Kickstarter project in order to cover the cost to acquire the necessary licenses to publish Bally Midway's Twilight Zone table. Farsight Studios pledged to also digitize Williams' Star Trek. The Next Generation table if the Twilight Zone project reached double its $55,000 goal. Funding of the Twilight Zone was successful. A total of $77,499 was raised to fund licensing for Twilight Zone. Farsight Studios president Jay Obernold signed the license agreement for Twilight Zone on June 8, 2012. Surplus funds, after deductions from unfulfilled pledges and processing fees, were applied to a new Kickstarter project for Star Trek, The Next Generation that was launched August 17, 2012. This project was also successfully funded. On June 21, 2013, Farsight Studios issued a Kickstarter to digitize Terminator 2, Judgment Day. As of July 21, 2013 it successfully surpassed the $59,000 goal with $62,360. A Kickstarter was underway for the Addams Family to be digitized to the Pinball Arcade for February 2015. The Gold Collector's Edition is to be a Kickstarter reward as DLC for a $100 pledge. The $97,640 goal was reached on October 7, 2014, with excess funds being designated towards acquiring their next big license table. Table Packs 1 through 10 were released in the Season 1 Table Pack and Pro Pack in May 2013, allowing players to buy all tables at once. Farsight Studios also released the Season 2 Pack and Pro Menu Pack containing add-on packs 11 through 20. Season 4 officially started with Phantom of the Opera on October 10, 2014. Although tables are not necessarily released to all platforms and/or regions simultaneously, there are currently 53 tables. Pro Menus. In late October 2012, Farsight Studios began to release Pro Menu upgrades for previously released tables. The upgrade lets the player control the camera to look around the table, control the ball, learn tips from pro players, and view the coin door and use the operator's menu. For Scared Stiff, it also grants the ability to turn off family mode with an uncensored voiceover. Table Key, published, future tables. Farsight Studios has plans to release the following tables. Reception. The Pinball Arcade was well received by critics. It averages 84.83% for XBOX 360, 81.67% for PS3 and 80.00% for PlayStation Vita at Game Rankings and 82/100 for XBOX 360. 79/100 for PlayStation Vita and 82/100 for iOS at Metacritic. IGN gave 9/10 for the PC and PS4 version of the Pinball Arcade and concluded, for pinball fanatics or just those curious about gaming, the unregistered trademark's relatively low-tech past, Pinball Arcade is an excellent starting point for re-experiencing the golden days of quarter munchers. The Pinball Arcade won Best Mobile Game of 2012 in X-Play's Best of 2012 awards and was also nominated for Best Remake Retro Release in 2012. The PC World website listed the Pinball Arcade at number 100 on their top 100 best products of 2012. A BBC News article described virtual pinball games such as the Pinball Arcade as a way to preserve pinball culture and bring it to new audiences. See also, Microsoft Pinball Arcade, references. External links, the official Pinball Arcade website.